fine people? My name is Duck Ken. Today I'd like to discuss the January 2024 update for Dead by Daylight, the developer update. And let me start off by saying this. It doesn't matter what the fuck else is in this patch. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't give a fuck if they removed Save the Best for Last. I wouldn't give a fuck if they reverted Dead Hard back to its original state. I wouldn't give a fuck if they reverted Cold Wind. I wouldn't give a fuck if they reverted fucking Orman. I wouldn't give a fuck about any of that. Fucking gave Survivor's base kit Decisive Strike. None of that fucking matters. It would still be a 10 out of 10 patch by virtue of the fact that they're finally doing right by the boy. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Hillbilly. They finally have buffed this man. And they buffed him substantially. Let's get into what they did to Hillbilly. So basically, Overdrive is now the new mechanic. The controversial overheat mechanic is no more. Overdrive is a new talk of town. As the Hillbilly uses his chainsaw, it will generate heat just like before. Now, my heart dropped out of my ass when I read that at first. I'm not going to lie. But let me keep reading. When the heat meter is full, not only will he continue being able to use it, but his chainsaw will kick into overdrive and gain the following effects for the next 20 seconds. His chainsaw charge speed will be increased by 5%. His chainsaw sprint movement speed increases by 13 meters per second. Oh, come on now. Come on. His chainsaw sprint cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Bro. So basically what they're doing is they're removing the fucking overheat mechanic. Fucking finally. Finally. And they're replacing it with overdrive. And it's actually going to reward you for using his power, as opposed to punishing you. Oh my, that is fucking masterful. That is absolutely masterful. His base kit is now going to be better than it was before in 2020. That is fucking masterful. Bravo behavior. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright? That's what I'm talking about. Also, they've made some improvements to Hillbilly's kit and smoothed out some of the rougher edges, according to them. The base chainsaw sprint movement speed has been increased by 10%. So we're getting somewhat of Doom Engravings base kit. Thank you, behavior. Fuck me, thank you, behavior. They've reduced the size of Chainsaw's collision detection to make chainsaw sprints more maneuverable in maps with high density tiles. Now, this is a nerf and a buff. Really, it's kind of a net buff for skill. Because while it will be harder for you to hit chainsaws because the collision zone has been decreased, it'll also be harder for you to hit these random fucking objects and these random tiles and these random invisible walls scattered across the map. So they're making that shit better. Alright. Also, camera sensitivity is no longer incorrectly tied to the controller sensitivity setting while using a mouse and keyboard. Chainsaw controls are now equal to 100% sensitivity before. Also, they've done a pass on Hillbilly's add-ons, and we're not going to really know about those, what they did until the PTB. I hope they fucking buffed every single one of his add-ons. Every single one of them, I hope. Now, of course, don't give us something again like Instasaw. Instasaw was fucking retarded. But I hope they've buffed every single one of this man's add-ons and made them viable. Bravo fucking behavior. You deserve a round of applause for that shit. Let me say this. If this is what you're doing to killers in 2024, if you're buffing them in smart, meaningful ways like this, I am completely fine with you changing Huntress, Demogorgon. All right, I was trepidatious at first about that shit because of your track record. But if you're doing masterful shit like this, you know what? I'll have a little bit of trust in you. I'll let you cook. All right. The behavior's fucking base. They're fucking based ass niggas for this shit. Alright? Alright. Anyway, moving on. Alright, Blight. They've finally nerfed Blight, which is great, because Blight's add-ons were fucking dumb. Blighted Rat and Blighted Crow. These add-ons are fairly strong, is what they're saying, making it more difficult, far more difficult to get out of the way of his rushing time. So basically what they did, they decreased the rush speed bonus to 2 and 3%, and it was 4 and 6%. Great, that's a net nerf, that's good. Those add-ons were really fucking strong. Adrenaline Vial, it no longer decreases time to recharge a rush token by 1 second, and no longer increases rush speed by 10 seconds. Or sorry, by 10%. The add-on now increases maximum rush tokens by 2, increases maximum rush look angle by 20 degrees, decreases rush turn rate by 55%. So they're buffing, they're nerfing Adrenaline Vial. Also, Alchemist Ring. I know that was really, really fucking strong. Basically, all it does now is increases rush duration by 20% for each consecutive rush. All right, that's good. Compound 33. Now each consecutive rush, which is longer than 4 meters, increases turn rate by 33%. That's pretty nice. And then Iridescent Blight Tag. It enables rush to be performed without spending tokens. Rush bonuses are capped after 3 consecutive rushes. Blighted Corruption goes on cooldown for 20 seconds after a successful lethal rush attack. So basically, they're just nerfing Blight across the board. And they didn't do anything to his base kit. That is fucking amazing. They're leaving his base kit alone. They're removing and nerfing these fucking busted goddamn add-ons he had. I am fine with that. Good fucking changes, behavior. Good shit. Okay, moving on to Sadako, the Onryo. So basically now when the Onryo teleports, survivors within 60 meters of a power TV will receive a stack of condemned. They're kind of bringing her back to where she was before. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. Because the whole point of them buffing her in the first place was because she was trash before. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. The teleport cooldown has been removed, allowing her to teleport more frequently. That's good. When a survivor is hooked, their current condemn process becomes locked in, preventing it from being removed. Now, is this going to work on every single hook? Or so as the match goes on, what I'm asking is this going to be something like where you're hooked with 3 stacks on your first hook? Okay, you keep 3 stacks of condemn. You hook with 5 stacks on your second hook? Okay, now you keep 5 stacks. Is it going to work like that? If it is, I mean, that can be good. But you're going to kind of be in a situation where you were before, where if a survivor's not near the TV, nothing really happens to them. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. These seem like interesting changes. She's probably going to be worse overall. We'll have to see how this works out. The cursed tapes, they no longer protect survivors from gaining condemn. Also, they're no longer destroyed or inflict condemn when a survivor is hit. And also, they have to be deposited in the furthest TV from where they're picked up. So no longer will you be able to get a fucking cursed tape and just go run to the closest TV and put the tape in there, removing your condemn. Great. Demanifested. Now the Onryo can begin a chase while demanifested. That's good. What I would like for them to do, and they haven't mentioned it here, I would like for them to get rid of her lullaby. She's a stealth killer. Why on earth does she have a fucking lullaby? Why? It doesn't make any sense. She should not have a lullaby. It should be to where she can demanifest right near a survivor, and that's when they fucking hear her. Not, hear her when she's like a few meters away from me. That's fucking dumb. I wish they would get rid of that. Also, they increased the invisibility while demanifested to 1.2 seconds, which is good. That's really fucking good. And it was 1 second. I really like mind games while being demanifested, like demanifested mind games. Those are pretty cool. I'm glad those are back. And also, I'm able to start chasing her while she's demanifested. That's good. That's fucking good. All right. And they made a pass on Sadako's add-ons. I have to see how those play out. I don't know how they'll play out. I have to see. But I guess okay changes. We'll have to see them in game. Okay. So moving on to 3-genning and generators more specifically. They talked about how they were trying to get a solution to 3-genning. And I don't know if there's a solution to 3-genning. I don't know. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. So going forward, each generator can only suffer from a maximum of 8 regression events. A regression event is whenever you kick a generator, whenever it gets surged, erupted, whatever the fuck. And now the base kit kicking damage of a generator will be 5%, up from 2.5%. So that's a good thing. Also, they're stopping gen tapping to where a survivor has to repair the gen for 5 seconds to get it from stopping regressing. That's a good change. It makes kicking gens more worthwhile, but they kind of indirectly nerfed the combination of Pop Goes the Weasel and Scorchuk Pain Res, or Pop Goes Weasel and other regression perks being paired together, because now if I Scorch Hook Pain Res a gen, it's almost done, right? And a survivor is smart, they'll stay on the gen until I come over there. And even if they're on it for only 4 seconds, if they get off it before that 5 seconds, I won't be able to kick the shit. It will continue regressing, but it won't get the 30% amount of progress shaved off of it from pop that it would have before this patch, if that makes any sense. And that's kind of a nerf to Pop Goes the Weasel indirectly, being paired with other slowdown perks. So we'll have to see how that works. I think smart survivors are going to play around that a lot. Of course, they can't tap the gen and chase now. But what they can do is they can prevent you from using your Pop Goes the Weasel and pairing it with other slowdown perks. So we'll have to see how this works. I guess it's a buff to kicking gens. But survivors are going to start playing around that, and they're going to make using Pain Res and Pop Goes the Weasel really hard to use with each other. This change isn't really going to get rid of 3-genning. It's not. To my understanding, what this change is going to do, to where you're not going to be able to regress a gen more than 8 times, or a gen regression event, it's going to get rid of those matches where the killer holds the game hostage in a 3-gen. They just kick fucking gens over and over and over and over and over again, and the matches 1 hour long. They're going to get rid of that shit, which is really fucking good, because holding the match hostage, right, and being in a match for 1 hour is fucking retarded. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's dumb. That's a good thing that they're removing that. Now, Dead by Daylight players make that shit sound so much more common than it actually is. I've got like 3,000 plus hours in the game. I've never once, as a survivor, been held in a game where I'm playing for an hour. Never once. My longest game is probably like maybe 20-something minutes, maybe. I've never once been held in a game where this shit's going on for an hour. I've never had that happen to me. Also, I've never held survivors in the game that's going on for an hour. I just simply don't fucking care that much. If I'm a survivor and my game's going on for a long ass time, I'm gonna throw myself at the killer. If he chases me, cool. If he doesn't, I'm still gonna continue to throw myself at him, and I'm gonna get myself killed. If the game's going on that long for killer, I'm just gonna prioritize one fucking person, get him down, and end the fucking game. I don't care that much. So, I don't think that shit was as common as people were making it out to be, but the fact that they stopped that shit from happening is a good thing. So that, I guess, is a good overall change. Moving on to perk updates. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a 10 out of 10 update because of what they did with Hillbilly, but I don't like what they did with Save the Best for Last. I don't. Now, I like that they didn't neuter this shit. It didn't get fucking neutered. I thought it was going to get fucking neutered. I thought they were going to rework it or do something completely different and neuter the fuck out of it. They didn't neuter it. But what they did was they nerfed the attack cooldown. So basically the maximum percentage of attack cooldown you can get, percentage buff, was 40% before. Now it's only going to be 32% because each stackable token is going to get 4% as opposed to 5%. So they nerfed it in that way. Also, this is the part I don't like about this perk. 2 tokens are lost when the obsession loses a health state by any means. And it was basic attacks. So in theory, this is going to stop Wesker from saving his stacks. This is going to stop Demogorgon from saving his stacks. Which wasn't really a fucking problem, but whatever. This is the issue. If I'm playing Trapper and my obsession gets caught in the trap way across the map from me. They get caught in the trap and they get rescued from the trap in fucking 5 seconds. I lose 2 stacks. I didn't fucking do anything, but I still lose 2 stacks. Right? That's ridiculous. Also, they said by any means. So this means that motherfuckers who run for the people buckle up. And you're already the obsession. If I down the non-obsession and I get my stacks, whatever, I got good stacks, say the best of last going, you come behind my back, you pick them up before the people buckle up, I lose 2 stacks and I didn't fucking do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to deserve that. I just lose 2 stacks because of you. Also, with motherfuckers who use plot twists, you go down on the ground, I lose 2 stacks. I don't like that at all. You can absolutely fucking counter the fuck out of Save the Best for Last way more than you already could with that change. And you can counter indirectly by the killer not even interacting with you. The killer's not even doing anything to you, and you're still taking away his stacks. I don't fucking like that shit. I don't. They didn't eviscerate the perk, but I just don't like that. I don't understand how we're in a world where like they nerfed Save the Best for Last before they did anything about For the People Buckle Up. I don't understand that at all. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. Alright? I don't like that change. I hope they look at that shit before they make it go live. I don't like it. All right, I don't like it. Me personally, I think the perk was fine, but if they want to nerf it, so be it. Whatever. Now, Grim Embrace. Now they're going to buff it overall. So before, it required you to hook every survivor once, and it blocked gens for a certain amount of time. Now, the first time each survivor is hooked, all generators are blocked for up to 12 seconds once the killer moves at least 60 meters from the hook. Now, does that mean that the first time each survivor is hooked, like if I hook one person, I get the effect, another person get the effect, another person get the effect, or does it mean just the first survivor? I don't know. I don't know. That's not very clear to me, at least. But this perk can be very good, and it can be an incentive to not tunnel people. So I like this perk change. I like it. So I might be using Grim Embrace more after this meta, not meta shakeup, but after this update. Quick Gambit. Basically, the perk grants other survivors a repair boost when you are being chased nearby. However, its range is fairly low, making it difficult to get close enough for other survivors to benefit from without putting them in danger. So they've just increased the range to 36 meters. It was 24 meters, and they reduced the repair speed bonus to 3 to 4 to 5%. Was 6, 7, 8%. Okay, whatever. All right, new one of Ruin. Now, Ruin will no longer be disabled when a survivor is killed or sacrificed. That's a good thing because it wasn't even strong enough to have that secondary effect anyway. I want them to buff Ruin back like to at least 150%, maybe 175%. But whatever, whatever. All good. Monitoring abuse, since we're getting the FOV slider, they just removed the FOV adjustment from the perk and left the terror radius effects unchanged. So it's just going to give you that smaller terror radius now when you're not in chase. Also, they're changing Ormond. The front of the lodge currently has a long row of rocks stretching across it. This can get in the way, making it difficult to traverse the map. Additionally, there's no room in this portion of the map for any windows or pallet, essentially making it a big dead zone. We've given this portion of the map an overhaul to create more interesting gameplay. So they're taking away that rock portion and they're putting windows and pallets there. Okay, all right. Also, it says the back of the lodge is comprised of mostly picnic tables. Great for enjoying a meal in the freezer. Okay, whatever. Pallet loops around these tables are fairly short, making them incredibly unsafe. We have similarly adjusted this area to improve gameplay. Does that mean they're buffing this map for Survivor? It seems like they're buffing this map for Survivor. That's what it seems like to me. I hope they're not doing that because Ormond's already fucking strong as fuck. Whatever. We'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, this was a 10 out of 10 masterful patch. They did some things that annoyed me with Save the Best for Last. Some of the shit that shit fucking annoyed me because they're gonna fucking nerf M1 killers and they're nerfing Trapper even harder now. I don't fucking like that. But you know what? The shit they did with Hillbilly was absolutely fucking masterful. Absolutely masterful. If they're gonna continue doing this to killers and buffing them in meaningful ways, I got hope for 2024. I've got a lot of hope. All right, they just can't do anything fucking retarded. But this is a really good start to the year. They're coming out swinging. Good shit behavior. All right, I was wrong to be so worried about you for what you're doing. I was wrong. I was basing it on your fucking track record before. You've shown that you've turned over a new leaf. And I'm here for it. You're fucking based ass niggas, alright? Y'all based as fuck. Anyway, I'll see y'all niggas later. What do y'all think about this patch? I know this is a longer video, but what do y'all think about this patch? I personally like it because of what they did with Hillbilly. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see y'all niggas in the next video. I'm out this bitch. Bye! Going.